My favorite color is blue, and I'd like to be your friend. And one more thing, I'd like to play with you at recess. Ready? N, S then, O then, M then, A then, N then, Y then, S then, T then, S T, U then, D then, E then, N then, T then, S then, H then, A then, D then, E then, A then, H then, A then, R then, H A, R then, D then, T then, I then, M then, E then, R then, E then, A then, L then, L then, Y then, U then, U then, N then, D then, E then, R then, S then, T then, A then, N then, D then, I then, N then, G then, G then, B then, U then, T then, Y then, O then, U then, U then, I then, N then, C then, L then, U then, D then, E then, N then, E then, I then, N then, E then, V then, E then, R then, Y then, T then, H then, I then, N then, G then. Okay, anything else? I then, T then, M then, E then, A then, N then, S then, O then, M then, U then, C then, H then, T then, O then, N then, E then. Okay. M then, Y then, F then, A then, F A, V then, O then, R then, I then, T then, E then, C then, O then, L then, O then, R then, I then, S then, O then, R then, A then, N then, G then, E then. So Peyton, he was diagnosed with autism at 2.5, and his journey really was, he wasn't able to talk. So for years we were doing ABA, we were trying to get him on that ability to communicate verbally. That didn't work, so we tried iPad devices, touch chat, Proloquote, other, PECs, other things. Nothing really took off with Peyton. And then we were introduced to somebody who was able to use the Spelling to Communicate program. And so we started when he was 10 on a letter board. He started out with 3 boards, and then he progressed to just 1 board. Now he's on a 126 letter board, and he actually is able to spell everything he wants to spell to us. R then, T then, A then, N then, D then.
We didn't know what avenue to go with Peyton. We didn't know what he was capable of. We didn't know the potential. We always knew he understood us. He listens better than our other 2 kids. But when we started this new therapy with him, to Spell to Communicate, we started to see, his abilities.
And the placement he was in, the teachers, the aides, they all have been awesome for him. I mean, they were coming to Peyton wanting to do the best they could for him. They just couldn't communicate. They weren't able to tap into that. The resources they were using may not have been exactly the resources Peyton needed at the time. And so it was a struggle for them, and their hearts were in it, all of them, I felt like. He mentioned he was worried, concerned about how am I going to get caught up in geometry, and he knew at that moment, this is how brilliant his mind is, that he wasn't getting the education he needed. And he was able to convey that to Kelly on the letterboard, and that is what shifted our drive to fight for him.
When we finally saw the potential and started communicating with him and the difference it's made in his life, I think that's when we were like, it's time we got to do something.
And then
We
Yes.
were ready to see what we had to do to get him in the class that he needed to be in and in the best possible environment for him, instead of just sending him to school, you know, in something that was not doing anything for him. Nothing really to do with the teachers, but it was the class program itself is not beneficial to a kid with, I guess, with his intellect.
You look back and you think, you know, all those years, he was probably ready back then, but we didn't have the communication piece. You know, we didn't have a way to know Peyton. He is doing so well, and he's communicating everything, and he's thriving at school, at home. Before, he's thriving at home, but not at school. Now he's thriving in both places. He is treated like he's completely competent, and it has been.
He wants to be a part of it.
He wants to be included in everything. We didn't think that he wanted to be. And then once we started opening that door through the letter boards, being able to spell his desires and his wants, that's whenever everything just took off. He has been very happy, and he does say over and over that he feels included. The teachers are trying hard to include him. The students are kind to him.
I promise there's not a sixth grader at that school that's more excited to be a sixth grader
Yes.
than Peyton is, and you know he's
I
so
would
happy.
agree with that. If I could say anything about Peyton is that he has a big heart, he wants his education, and he wants to really spread the word that just because you can't speak doesn't mean it's not in there.